What up, what up, what up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to do a very, very late review of the premiere of the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 15. So, if you haven't seen the season 15 premiere of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, turn this video off. Go watch the very short episode, about 40 minutes long, and then come back and watch this video. Anything I say, my expressions, my feelings, does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. This is how I feel, and it's coming out of my mouth. Yeah, I'm not a public speaker, so I will tend to stutter, pause. You're going to hear me say, so, like 1,000 times maybe. I will stop to regain my thoughts. I definitely will be looking to my notes over here that I take throughout watching the show. Yeah, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Those are the two main things that I ask of you that are free and easy and quick. Just get that out the way right quick. I'm going to give you like 30 seconds to do that. All right, cool beans. Yeah. If you want to, you can hit that share button and the notification bell. Those are not important, but any support counts. So if you want to hit those buttons, you can as well. Did I forget to say anything? Yeah, I do have my handy dandy water bottle that we'll be drinking from. Ooh, that's so good. Yeah. I do like to rate the episodes before and after my reviews. I'm going to rate this premiere episode. I'm going to give it a B+. B+, kind of A-. I'm going to grade it that. Because, like, it was a couple of things on. I mean, I know it's supposed to be a reality show, of course, but there was a couple of things on there. I was just like, really, bruh, really? That's what we doing with this premiere? But, yeah, B+, A- type tip. Okay, so last chance. If you haven't seen the season 15 premiere of Real Housewives of Atlanta, turn this video off because I'm about to spoil the entire episode. I need a wax. Damn. A bitch look like she got a whole stash. Hey, I just like to be as real as possible. If I see something, I'm just going to say it. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay. So the first scene is they gearing up for Sonya's husband's Ross, fine ass chocolate Ross. Y'all know who Ross is. So they gearing up for his 40th birthday party, and they show these quick little clips of people arguing. And from what I saw, I thought that it was Candy and Sonya going back and forth. So I had put Candy versus Sonya, and then I put Kenya versus Martell, which actually happens, but we ain't gonna really get to see it until next episode, which is kind of irritating. But yeah, so they showing a little snippet of Ross's birthday party, and they showing these little tips that are gonna happen, but they don't go too much into it, you know. And then they rewind 4 days earlier. Then we actually get into the show. So I'm kind of irritated because we got to see all this play out on the show, because I don't watch that show that Martell is on. I think it's called Marriage in Huntsville or something like that. I don't watch that, so I don't know nothing about the man than what I'm seeing in blogs and now on this show, whatever. So I already seen this interview a couple of days ago where he said that they just friends, him and Sheree. They're not even dating no more, or if they was ever dating at all. So it's like watching this show, you watching it and you know that him and her is not together. So it's kind of just like irritating. It's kind of like watching Robin and Juan Dixon. You know a relationship, you know they ain't really together, but you got to watch it anyway. I don't think that was a very, very good comparison, but whatever. So I'm immediately kind of irritated because I'm just like, we know they ain't together in real life. But I mean, we know that these shows are previously taped and stuff, so maybe they was together when it was taping. I don't know, but just to watch it now and to know that they're not together anymore, it's just like, okay. I digress. So we get this scene, kind of like the first scene of the episode. Martell pops up at Sheree's house. They just trying to give us this to let us know, okay, they talking on the show. So they talking about his little, he had a photo shoot with some magazine. She asked him how it went. He's like, it went well, da-da-da. So Sheree goes on into her confessional telling us that she met Martell through a mutual friend. Somebody comment and tell me who's the mutual friend that she met him through. Because I feel like it's Andy Cohen. I feel like it's Andy. Hold on. Is Marriage in Huntsville a Bravo show? Somebody let me know in the comments. I don't be knowing. Look, I don't pay attention that much to the social media stuff of it all. So I don't really be knowing that much stuff. I just be knowing off like what I happen to see coming across like the Shade Room, or if I whatever I'm seeing while I'm watching the show. So I don't really be knowing that much. So don't damn me for what I do say, because I don't really be knowing every little detail. But she says that they met through a mutual friend. In my mind, I'm thinking that mutual friend is Andy Cohen, but I could be wrong, of course. So she said they met through a mutual friend. She mentions that he's on a reality show as well. Da da da. And she says that he lives in Alabama, and she would love for him to move closer. Trying to make it seem like the relationship is really there, like to where he would move for you. She was like, yeah, she only get to see him like once a week. And I was like, that's about right. That's about right. That's about right. So she was like, and then in this moment, I was like, she had, I was trying not to cough, but she had to defend him before she even like said the good things about him. So she get the, despite what y'all reading on the blogs, she was like, despite what y'all saying on TV, he's very respectful to me. He treats me kind, da da da. She was like, I'm just glad I didn't give up on love. So then the producer was like, oh, so you love him? And she was like, oh, no, I don't. She's like, I'm just glad I'm still open to love. I was just like, bruh, like, shut up then. Why would you say that and then that same notion say you don't love him? Or you don't, at least say you got love for him or something. So then Sheree, she tell Martell, I got a surprise for you. So he's like, oh, you got a surprise for me. So the doorbell rings. Martell, he goes off to get changed or something, because he came in like a tux or something. I can't remember. He goes off to like get changed in another room. And it's a chef that comes in there. And Sheree, she talking with the chef. Chef telling her what she gonna make for them, this, that, and the third. Then Sheree, in her confessional, Martell just has, I love his physique, and I love laying on his chest, and he got them ripped arms, and she's like, he definitely gives off big dick energy. I was just like, girl, we do not need all that. I ain't even gonna say I didn't need all that. I was like, girl, I don't care. Because the fact of the matter is, y'all not even together no more. So all this is just like watching it and being like, okay. And that's why I said this episode kind of gives me like beat. Because they made this whole episode kind of sort of about Martell. And it's just like, they ain't, bro, how long we gonna make this? How long is this season gonna be about Martell? I'm sorry, because they not together no more. And I know that this stuff be previously recorded, but it irks my nerves to know that they not together no more. And now they about to make this whole season about, like, I just hope not. And I don't want to hear about Drew neither. I'm sorry. Drew is not that interesting. I'm sorry. We done seen her whole divorce play out on Instagram and all that stuff. Twitter. So we do not need to. But it's a show, so we have to move on. So Martell comes out, he's like, oh, this is a surprise. I'm about the chef. He's like, I thought it was another surprise. I heard another woman's voice, and I thought, and I was like, see, this nigga giving me weird vibes already. Why would you think that she called a woman over to have a threesome while y'all on camera and shit? Like, what? And then Sheree in this moment, her confessional, she's like, I was going to have a threesome with my ex-husband, but we never did, and then he ended up having a threesome with someone else. And I was just like, why are they giving us this? I was like, they don't got nothing else they could have started this damn show with. But they sit down, they start to eat. Sheree telling Martell, you remember I told you about Ross's 40th birthday party? She was like, you know, everybody gonna be there. Candy gonna be there. So Martell gets to talking about, apparently Martell's not feeling Candy because Candy called him a opportunist or something like that an interview, or maybe on her little speaker on that she be doing. I can't remember what she said to that, but she apparently called Martell the opportunist, so he not feeling her about that. So Martell was like, if anybody's an opportunist, it's her husband, talking about Todd. So I was like, oh man, so we gonna have this. You know Todd gonna see Todd probably saying that was like, oh real, yeah. So Sheree was like, well, you know, they'll be respectful. Martell was like, they gotta be respectful. Like, ain't they both? He was like, they both like 3 feet tall, so they better be. And then the producer's so messy. They showed the damn height. They showed Todd and Candy's height. I think Todd was like 5'7", and then they showed Candy like 5'3" with heels on. And I was just like, they so petty, bruh. I never even realized they was that short. I mean, I never paid it no attention, but damn, he really pointed it out. Like, they really is a short couple. Man, they loud. They watching Wild 'N Out. Can't review that show. But I watched that show. It's a good show. I mean, I love Wild 'N Out. Who don't watch Wild 'N Out? Who is not black and don't watch Wild 'N Out? Shoot yourself. It's like, no, I'm playing. All right, so then we get to this. That's what I get. That's what I get for saying shoot yourself if you don't watch Wild 'N Out. Because maybe some people just don't have, like, minds where they want to watch that type stuff. But anyway. So Candy is sitting down with little Candy Cody Click again. They back together. Don Juan and Cameron. Cameron was like, did you miss me? And I'm not even being funny. Where did Cameron go? I'm sorry. Somebody please tell me. Did she leave? Did she go off somewhere? Somebody tell me, where did Cameron go? Because I seen her last season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. But I can't remember what was going on. So I'm like, did she go somewhere and came back? I don't know. She wasn't around during the SWV and Escape thing. And we did see Don Juan a couple of times. So maybe, I don't know. But she was like, did y'all miss me? And they was like, yeah, we missed you. So Don Juan asked, so I didn't even know Candy, like I said, I don't pay that much close attention to the stuff that be going on between the social media. If it's not on the Shade Room, I don't really see it. But that's the only like little news, culture news jump that I'm following is the Shade Room. So if it's not on there, I don't really see it. And I'm not on Twitter. I mean, I got a Twitter, but I don't really know how to use Twitter, so I don't really be on it. I only go to Twitter when somebody be like, oh, you know, such and such sex tape leaked. If it's worth feeling like, oh, let me go see what that look like, then that's when I go to Twitter. But other than that, I don't really be on Twitter. So I don't really know the stuff that be going on between these celebrities other than what I'm seeing on the Shade Room or on the show. So I had no idea Candy and Sheree had this little problem going on. Didn't even see this spoof thing that Candy did of Sheree until this episode aired. So Candy, Don Juan asked Candy, have you seen you talked to Sheree lately? Candy was like, no. They started talking about Sheree's, apparently Sheree's, She by Sheree little website had crashed. And I did hear something about that when they had the reunion. And she said at the reunion it crashed because she had so many orders or whatever. So then they go to a confessional scene. Sheree saying the same thing. She's like, it might sound bad, but it's actually good. Like, she's like, you would want your website to crash if, because there's so many orders, this, that, and the third. Like, I'm good over here. That's what she basically was saying in her confessional. So they steady talking about her site not selling anything, website crashing, all that in the third. Yeah, then Sheree says in her confessional, the overflow of orders caused it to crash, is that and the third. So then Candy, she's telling Don Juan, Cameron, said, I offered to help Sheree, but she don't want to pay nobody. So I'm like, they still using this little narrative that Sheree don't pay nobody. she should be trying to correct that. I mean, she tries to defend it, but it's just like, if you put that narrative out there about somebody, it's just gonna stick, whether you want it to or not. Yeah, so she was like, yeah, I tried to help Sheree, but you know, Sheree don't want to pay nobody. Then Don Juan brings up, well, we back together again like candy coated nights. And I was just like, again, where did Cameron go? But Oh, no. That's the Candy Coated Click. No, Don Juan brings up Candy Coated Nights, the little event they be having. Says about that time to do Candy Coated Nights again. Yeah, Candy was like, yeah, I know. She started bringing up about how Ace told her, her son Ace told her last night that she worked too much. She was like, that's wild for to hear from a 6-year-old. And then they show a clip of of Candy on the phone, Ace crying, saying he want her to help her instead of whoever's there with him. She was like, I know, buddy, this, that, and the third. And it's sad, I get it. But it's like, this has been Candy's storyline for like the past, 2 or 3 seasons? I don't remember. I guess. I mean, I don't know. But I feel like I've seen the storyline with Candy before. With Riley, yeah. She was saying Riley said she was working too much. It's kind of like the same thing. So then Kenya, she pops up. And one thing about Kenya, I always had a like-hate with Kenya. Like, I like her and then I hate her sometimes. And I feel like that's probably a lot of people's like perspective on Kenya. I mean, I guess she's supposed to be shade assassin, but sometimes she be doing some stuff that I just don't like. Like when she first came on the show and was like kind of doing that flirty stuff with Apollo, that was kind of weird. Is his name Apollo? What was Phaedra's husband's name? I think his name Apollo, yeah, because he on the couples retreat junk right now with another woman. So I didn't like Kenya from jump. When she first came on and was like kind of doing that stuff with Apollo, I was like, this is somebody's husband and you doing this. But I was like, at the same time, if Apollo and Phaedra ain't doing nothing about it, then Kenya ain't gonna stop. So, but I always had like this like-hate with Kenya. And now they got Moneta on here as a friend of the show. I think she started as a friend of the show last season. I can't remember. Kenya shows up. Moneta shows up. They all greeting each other and stuff. So, so that's when Candy gets to, I'm still low-key mad at you, Moneta. She was like, cause she felt like last season Moneta was siding with Marlo on the whole her kicking the kids out, not understanding her side and all that between when Marlo and Candy was having their little problems. So then Moneta says in her little confessional scene, she gets a confessional scene. My little nightgown is ripped. I've been trying to cover it up, but it's just gonna keep popping out there. I don't care. The fuck. Shit. So Moneta saying in her confessional, things got misconstrued. She was like, it wasn't even like that as far as the whole Marlo situation. And she was like, she's so sorry to Candy. She's Candy's friend of the show. So at this point, I'm just like, oh, you just suck it up so you can stay on the show? I don't know. Because, like, why even apologize? If y'all sitting in this room and seeming cool, it would just be like, well, I stood on how I felt, and that's how I felt. If you can't be my friend for that, then oh well. Don't get the, oh, I'm sorry, things got misconstrued. No. I get it's an edited reality show, but still. Stand on what you believed in. Stand on how you felt, Moneta. So Don Juan and Cam, they leave. So now it's just Moneta, Candy, and Kenya. So Moneta's telling Candy, oh, you missed the fun at Heath's party. Her husband Heath. She's like, you missed the fun at this party. Candy was like, oh, what happened? She asked Kenya, she was like, did you bring a boo? They all start giggling. Moneta like, she did. Kenya was like, I bought a companion. And I was just like, why would you word it like that? Make it seem like you bought a golden retriever or a German shepherd or something. I was like, that was so random that I bought a companion. So they cut away to the I guess Heath's party. They showing Kenya with this white guy. And I was just reading this article about why I can't remember why. I can't remember the why, but it was explaining why dark-skinned women are attracted to lighter skin or white men, and why darker-skinned men are usually attracted to lighter-skinned women. But I ain't even about to go off the deep end about that. But so they showed Kenya at the party with the white guy. And then Kenya says in her confessional that that's Monyetta's best friend. And she connected them to. He's supposed to be like a super bachelor. And she was like, and I'm kind of crazy about him. So I was like, how long they been talking? She didn't even say that. She didn't even say how long they been dating or whatever. How long ago was this party? They show a few little pictures as Kenya's talking of them at different places and stuff. I was like, okay, maybe they have. I don't know how long they've been talking. She ain't say. Plus, we don't know when this show was taped. I mean, I don't know. I don't pay attention to when they tape stuff. But yeah, we don't know when this show was taped, so who knows even if she was just still with this guy. I wonder if they're going to bring him on the show. He looks different in picture. Like, the picture they showed, I mean, the video they showed of her in the club with him, he looked like old. But then when they showed the picture of them two together, he looked younger. So I was just like, I don't know. I wonder what the age difference is, too. So so Kenya says all that in her confessional. Then she starts telling the ladies, he treats her great, makes her feel alive again, and he's easy on the eyes and all that. Candy and Kenya was like, well, yeah, Moneta got it right. Like, got it right, picking her a match, picking Kenya a match. Kenya feeling herself. She in her confessional talking about some, I've been separated from Mark since 2019. Like, this chocolate Barbie doll looks too damn good to be single for too damn long. I was just like, okay, Kenya. We get it. You trying to prop up a storyline of, I don't know. Because we didn't need that. We know you beautiful. You ain't got to say too much. That's one thing I will give Kenya. She is bad. She is very pretty. Pretty chocolate. Very pretty. So Moneta was like, oh, you guys, you and, the guy's name is Roy. That's his name. He's like, you and Roy are so cute, Kenya. Kenya was like, I'm feeling things again. And he makes me feel like a woman and all this. So then Kenya, you know, she ain't trying to keep the subject on her too long. They can get to asking too many questions. Kenya know. She know how to play the game. So she gets to, Candy, I'm so, but she said, I was so disappointed in you and Sheree. And Candy was like, well, did you notice that she tried to post something nice about me? She posted all these nice things she had to say about me and all that. And Kenya was like, did she just post it? And Candy was like, nah, she did it around the same time that I did the spoof of her. And then they showed this spoof that she did of Sheree. I had never seen this spoof until this episode. She's spoofing Sheree talking about some, I know I'm good clickbait, baby, and all that. So I thought this spoof was fucking funny. I thought that shit was hilarious. I seen a couple of spoofs that she did. Never any relating to the show, I don't think. I seen her doing spoofs of other stuff. And I was like, Candy's funny for this. So, yeah, they cut away to that spoof. So then Candy in her confessional says that she was definitely being petty when she did the spoof of Sheree. She was like, Sheree never remembers the things she says about other people, so I'm going to do the same thing. She's like, I'm just going to be like, huh, what? So Kenya Moneta was like, well, I thought the spoof was funny. And me watching it the first time in that moment, I thought it was funny too. I was just like, Candy just be doing some funny shit. So they was like, I thought it was funny. So then Kenya asked Candy, like, is you going to Ross's thing? You know Sheree gonna be there. Candy was like, yeah, I'm going. Kenya was like, do y'all think she gonna bring her new boo, Martell? Oh, y'all was like, is she serious? I hope not. I hope not. Kenya was like, I think she's serious. So then, Candy asked Monietta, she was like, what have you heard about Martell? So then Monietta was like, well, the streets been talking. Candy gets super amped up. So it's like, girl, the streets been talking to me too. Gets super amped up, sounding like a cold bird. I was like, bruh. He was like, the streets been talking to me too. Like, she been geeking to let this tea out. So she said, the streets been talking to me too. What the hell am I? I am stoned. I did go to my eye appointment. I'm still waiting for them to call me and tell me my glasses are ready. So trust me, I ain't on here squinting for no reason. Where the hell am I? Okay, so she was like, you know, Candy, the streets been talking to me too. Amp the fuck up. So Candy gets the word on the street. He been kicking it. Martell been kicking it with some girls in Atlanta. Monietta was like, I heard the same thing too. And then they show all these like tabloids and stuff of Martell's supposed allegations, all the allegations against him and stuff. Well, not even allegations, just like people saying he been out with this, that, and third. Sue Mal, what's the name? What's the little phrase? Sue, Sally, and whatever. Then Kenya goes, and this part, man. So Kenya gets the. It's kind of awkward because Martell. I said Marty. She was like, it's kind of awkward because Martell low key tried to talk to me. She said lightweight, something like that. Say he low key tried to talk to me. So Candy, my head, what? He tried to talk to you? So they was like, so Kenya was like, yeah. So Kenya was like, he reached out, you know, via DM. They was like, oh, he slid in the DMs, huh? Oh, they showed this little commercial with Candy and Ace and KFC. I thought that was cute. I was like, Candy needed a little bit more facial expressions. She tried, though. So Candy telling Kenya, oh, pull the DM up. I want to see it. So Kenya pulled up her DMs. And, okay, so first of all, she hasn't even accepted his messages. I get, yeah, because when it's somebody you ain't following or something like that, yeah, you gotta request it. So she never even accepted the what's it called? She never even accepted the DM. So they tell her press accept. Monietta and Candy telling her press accept. So she pressed accept and the DM is gone. So they was like, oh, he deleted it. Now, okay, him deleting it is sus. But come on now. What if you didn't see it, then you don't know what it said, man. Come on. You don't know what it said then. But anyway, so Kenya says in a confessional, she was like, why I didn't respond to Marcel? Because when he could just look at a woman and get her pregnant. She was like, lucky for Sheree, she don't have periods no more, so she ain't got to worry about that. I was just like, okay, the shade, whatever. So they like, he a thirst trap. They call him a thirst trap. So Kenya was like, should I say something to Sheree? And I was in my head like no, why? You don't even know what it said. That's what's throwing me off. You don't even know what it said. It disappeared. It could have been anything. I don't know. Me personally, no, because you don't even know what it said. And it was kind of a reach to say he tried to talk to you when you don't even know what the damn DM said. Like, come on. So Candy and them was like, well, no, because it's not like you dated him or anything. And I'm like, in my head, like, no, period, because it's not like he said anything. You don't know what he said. Even if he was trying to holler at you, it was deleted, so you didn't get to see what it said, so you don't know what it said, so you can't just speculate like that. So Kenya, she tried to change the subject again, even though she brought up the damn situation. But She was like, I heard you and Todd on the phone fussing when you called me, Candy. I was like, damn, okay. So Candy gets to tell him on the other end, Candy, that Todd trying to make this movie, and he feels like Candy don't make time for him like he does for her. This, that, and the third. I feel like stuff we've already heard. Then Candy says in her confessional that Todd has a lot of movies that he wants to write. I mean, he has a lot of written movies that he wants her to produce, but she just doesn't have the time. And she got her hands in a lot of stuff. So then she tells Kenya and Monietta that Todd wanted her and two other producers to go over a script at a certain time, which was 11. And Candy said she told Todd she had an interview at 11 and asked could they like push it back or something like that. And Todd said they couldn't. Then she says the day of the table read ended up being at 4 o'clock. And she was like, well, Todd, I thought you told me it was at 11. And then he told her that they said that the people, the writers or whatever, whoever, producers or whatever, they couldn't do it at 11. So they pushed it back to 4. So she was like, but you had a big problem when I said, could we push it back instead of the third? So it was just like, that's how she feel. And she was like, Todd wants to make her the problem and it frustrates her. She starts crying and she was like, she understands that she does a lot and she knows that could be frustrating for him too. But she was like, don't make her the problem. All this stuff. And I mean, we kind of knew they had these problems. I kind of knew they had these problems. Just from, last season? It just never came, to forefront now. So it's Candy in her confessional saying she can only do too much. And, she knows Todd wants to pursue his dreams, and she just doesn't know how to make it all work. And I feel like I've heard the storyline before, so they're going to make it work. Ain't nothing going to happen. But okay, to give us this storyline, okay. They're going to make it work. So Kenya tells her she doesn't want to see her on divorce court or anything like that. So her sisterly advice to her is to make time for her husband. And I mean, I guess. Because what it sounds like, she's saying he ain't making time for her neither. So it's just like, why are you telling her to make time for him if he ain't doing the same for her? Your sisterly advice should just be to stay out of it or suggest therapy or something. I don't know. That was bad sisterly advice. So now we with the Jamaican, what's she, a 4-star? I mean, 4-time Olympic gold medalist, Miss Sonya herself. I wonder if she gonna have a problem with Drew this season. Because Drew's storyline gonna be that whole divorce thing with Ralph. So I wonder if her and Sonya gonna have a tiff this season. So Sonya, Sonya just giving her, I guess she just giving a little background to people that probably just started the show, watching the show. Because I remember her saying this last season that she had a full house. Her sister and her sister's husband's living with her and their kids. And then her mother and father. I remember all that. And then her husband and her son. So they got a full house. So, she's talking with, who's she in the kitchen with first? Because I know the whole family wasn't in there first. I don't remember who was in there. Maybe it was the whole family in there. But Sonya gets to talking about Ross's party. Was Ross in there? I can't remember. But they get to talking about Ross's birthday party. And Sonya gets to talking about how she's nervous to show the ladies cause last year I forgot about that little party that she threw and they was complaining about it. I forgot all about that. But the ladies sure didn't, and she sure didn't. So she was like, they flashed to the little party that she had with the little Jamaican beef patties, and Sheree was talking about she ain't got no servers or nothing. So Sonya tells us that she hired her brother-in-law, her sister's husband, well, that's her brother-in-law, whatever. You know, she hired him as her assistant because he's been trying to get into real estate and he's been having a hard time. So she felt like him working for her would like at least get him into his foot into some doors where he can meet certain types of people and stuff from her celebrity, I guess. So the brother-in-law, he was like, did she say that in her confessional or? Yeah, I guess she said it in her confessional. So the brother-in-law is telling her she always trying something new, like she doing this 1 minute, doing that 1 minute, she moving and loud, whatever. Which is like, in my opinion, not a bad thing. If you're gonna be an assistant, you gotta be an assistant. If you ain't want to take the position, you should say no. I don't know. So then the sister chimes in and was like, tell Sonya she doesn't respect boundaries and she stay trying to find something for her husband to do, for her sister's husband to do. And he's just trying to eat his food. And I was just like, okay. So Sonya tells in her confessional that her mother and father was her managers when she was running track and all that, and her sister did her hair. And like she basically supported them all her life. Well, since she got her celebrity or whatever. And vice versa. They supported her. They supported her all their life. And she supported them all their life, whatever. So she's like, they all get paid. They all get paid off her. So then the sister said another example was when, like, the sister cooked dinner and she about to plate her food up, and Sonya she about to plate the food up for the kids or something, and Sonya would come in and be like, and ask the kids if they want to go outside, like, randomly, and like she like, Sonya don't even care that the kids got a scheduled dinner, and I was just like, I mean, if that is the case, then I would understand how frustrating that would be, like. If you the one that's in the house taking care of the kids and you got a set schedule for what they supposed to do and all that, and then she out all day doing whatever she doing and come home and disrupt that schedule, I would understand that. But it was like the way the sister came off, it was just like, I don't know. And then in this moment, the sister gets a little confessional. Oh no! Before that, she was like the kids. She was like Sonya don't even realize that she's disrupting the kids' schedule. She calls Sonya a dingbat, and I know I ain't from Jamaica, but I know dingbat is not like a nice word. And I was just like, okay. She calls Sonya a dingbat and says she always in her own little bubble. So I was just like, I mean, I understand where the sister coming from, but it's like she coming off like, wow, why you doing all? I mean, I don't know. This might be for a storyline. I don't know. So I was like, it's something you can talk to your sister in private about if you really feel that way. So in this moment, Sonya's sister gets a little confessional scene, and she was like, it's annoying because Sonya like has no schedule. And that she doesn't even know what the schedule is. Like, she'll come home from work around 11 o'clock p.m. and text her randomly and ask her to come cut her wig off or something like that. And her sister was like, well, back when she ran track and she was like, this was like mandatory. Like, of course I was doing that. Like, it was a priority. She was like, but Sonya's not understanding that that's not a priority anymore. So I'm just like, okay. I get where you're coming from. You sounded more collective in you sounded more empathetic in your little confessional scene, but the way you was just speaking to your sister just now, it was just like wow. It was wow. Like, the way she spoke to Sonya in that moment compared to the way she spoke about it in her confessional scene, I was like, okay, you should have spoke to her like that and off camera. Unless this is for a storyline. I mean, they probably was like, we gotta get him something else than Sonya just beefing with Drew. Cause I did just say at the top of her scene that I hope that her and Drew don't have this little tiff the whole season. So I guess we're gonna see this with the sister and her and her sister. So like I said, I got this like hate with Kenya, but her little baby Brooklyn is super cute, man. Quick little scene with her little baby Brooklyn. She done bought Brooklyn all these little pretty little dresses, and they trying them on. She telling her, twirl, girl. You know, that's her thing. Didn't her little dogs die, I think? Twirl and, damn, what was the dogs? God forbid, I prayed that if they didn't die, I'm so sorry if they didn't die. But I think some housewife dog died. I can't remember. But she telling her, twirl, you're gone with the wind, fabulous. I thought that was super cute. Then you get a quick little scene. I guess they trying to show us more depth into this beef. I mean, not beef, but this misunderstanding that Todd and Candy are having. So they're at home, and Candy's like, I guess she's making snacks or doing something with the kids with Ace and damn, what's the baby name? Blaze, yeah, Ace and Blaze. And Todd is on like his computer, still working on his script with, I guess, with some fellow writers, producers, I don't know. But she was like, it's family time, Todd. Like, you need to come on. He's like, let me finish up this. He's like, I'm trying to finish up this last scene with them, this, that, and the third. And Candy's in her confessional saying that Todd's movie has been taking up a lot of their family time, and she knows he's busy. She knows she's busy a lot, but she still makes time for the family, and he needs to do the same and all that. Then we get Marlo. Marlo. I got a like-hate with Marlo, too. Marlo's so funny. She good reality TV, but it's just like, sometimes she says stuff out of her mouth, and I just be like, bruh, you just can't. You just can't, bruh. You can't just say random stuff because you mad. Giselle. Anyway, so Marlo's at home with her nephews. Her nephews are back. Did they come back to the house? I think they came back last season. I can't remember, but they back at the house. They making tacos for Marlo. All is good in the hood. Marlo comes downstairs. She says in her confessional that she hasn't heard from her sister since her sister got out of was her sister in rehab or was she jail? No, I think she was in rehab. Yeah. She said her sister hasn't reached out to her kids since she been released. So she said she still got the boys living with her. She's like, they hers now. She was like, this forever. This a forever thing. It's like, okay. I mean, I'm not mad at it. She's taking care of them. Like, I mean, hey. Last season, I felt like she was sort of stretching the truth. I don't know. Because because the sister was like, you got me locked up. So I don't know. I mean, not locked up, but you got me committed. So I don't know the situation. So I can't really, but it's hard to believe Marlo all the time when she makes up lies. Like, it's hard to believe sometimes. So, they still seeing a life coach. I remember them saying this life coach last season. No, was it the same life coach? Or was Marlo saying a life coach by herself? I can't remember, but life coach comes in, talking with Marlo and the boys, and Marlo, they start to talk about how Marlo kicked the boys out, and the youngest one, I think he's the younger one, William, he tells them, Marlo was talking about how she had problems and all that, and and that's why she kicked him out, and William was like, well, they was having problems too, and he was like, he said sometimes she put stress on them. He was like, but it's okay because things have changed now, and they hug about it. I was like, okay. He's speaking up. So she tells the boys that she loves them and she never wanted to just get them away and put them out and things like that. And she was like, even though she did what she did, she always wants the best for them. I mean, of course. So the life coach mentions that she tasked them with like making a mission statement. So they talking about it. So they was like they really can't remember it. They try to state what they can remember. And Marlo was like, well, it needs some work. And the life coach was like, no, it's fine. She was like, as long as it's like authentically you guys, is Mrs. As long as it's authentically you. She says that to them. She was like, they was like, we just need to take a picture of it or take a picture of you guys. And every time you look at it, and they was like, she was like, you could take a picture, and anytime you're in a place of struggle, you could look at the mission statement and remind yourselves how far you've come and things like that. And Marlo, she in the confession was talking about, this gentle parenting thing is different. Like, I wasn't raised on this gentle parenting thing. Like, whatever mama said, went and all that. She was like, but she was like, the boys are respecting me now, and I'm respecting them a lot more now, this, that, and the third. She was like, that's what's most important. So I'm like, okay, she in a good space with the boys. I hope it stay that way. I hope we don't get another situation where she got to kick them out. I hope not. So I'm like, okay, she in a good space. I'm glad they seeing the life coach seem to be working. Hope it's working off camera too. I hope it's not just for the cameras. I don't know. Because I can't, it's like 80-20 with Marlo. I don't know what to believe sometimes. So Sonya comes to, what's Sheree little house name? The chateau, right? I don't know. Sonya shows up to Sheree's house, and I guess they was there to work out, just talk, just a filler scene. They working out, fake working out, whatever. Sonya like, I'm trying to get my butt like yours for this party. How many days I got and all that. So now we get this friend of Sheree. This annoying bit. I'm just like, why did they bring her on the show, man? She annoyed me this whole episode. So, and I thought she was going to be cool. I didn't know what was going to be happening. So, she pops up to Sheree's house. Sheree's introducing her. This is my friend Courtney, Sonya, Courtney, whatever. So, they get to chatting it up. Sonya asking Courtney what she does. Courtney says she has a marketing consulting company, and she has a jewelry line. She's talking about, I'm wearing some of my jewelry now. So they started to talk about Ross's party. Sonya was like, Sheree tells Sonya that she invited Courtney to Ross's party. And I'm just like, how you going to invite? Because you came with Martell. Like, ain't no spoiler alert. If you watching this, you should have seen the episode. She came with Martell. So how you just going to invite somebody that Sonya and Ross have never met and just talk about something? Oh, yeah. So I was just telling her about Ross's, but I invited her to Ross's party. And I'm just like, what? So if I was Sonya, I'd be like, how you just going to invite somebody that I don't even know? That would have been a problem right then and there. But anyway, so Sonya was like, well, I invited all the ladies. And Sonya was like, do you know any of the ladies, Courtney? Courtney said she hung out with Marlo briefly a little bit. And Sonya was like, she was like, she did invite Drew and Ralph RSVP, but she didn't look too happy about it. So you see it's still a little problem between Drew and Sonya. So Courtney says that Candy seems cool, but she was like, she seems cool and they've been in the same circles, but she heard that Candy was talking around about her. So Sheree was like, she got time to do that and make little memes about me. So I'm just like, oh, here we go. So I was like, what is Sonya going to do in this moment? Because Sonya's supposed to be cool with Candy. So I was like, what's Sonya about to do? So Sheree says in her confessional that she feeling the way about Candy because she thought they was good, but then Candy keeps coming for her in her little spoofs. So she says the only time Candy isn't talking about somebody is if talking about her or somebody else is when she eating or sucking some dick. And she was like, but not in the locker room though. And I was like, I ain't gonna hold you. Sheree had some little funny little shades shit that she said all through this episode, and that was one of them. That was funny. Cause you remember last season Marlo said she was sucking dick in the locker room or something like that. Oh no, it was never revealed because it was like a little anonymous game or something. But we know Marlo or Sheree said that shit. They even brought it back up at the reunion and nobody still stood on it and said who it was. But I know it was either Sheree or Marlo. I didn't even suspect Sheree at first, but then when the reunion came, I was like, it might have been Sheree. So she was like, not in the locker room though. And I felt like in that moment she verified it was herself that said it. But Sheree tells Sonya and what's her name? Courtney. Courtney was like, what's up with you and your new boo? And Sheree was like, we're just enjoying each other's time. We haven't put no label on it, this, that, and the third. When I drink the water, you could really see this stash. Bruh. Okay. So, where am I? Okay, so Sonya shows up to the venue that they're having Ross's party at. She's super excited. Everything looked good to her, to what she wanted, to her liking. Said she planned on spending She planned on spending $40,000 for Ross's 40th birthday, but ended up going over. Ended up she ended up going over and ended up spending like $100K. She was like, well, she said she liked the turnout. Everything turned out good though. Then we get to this little scene, and Candy and Todd, they looking for something to wear or whatever for Ross's party, and Todd was like, oh, should I wear this? And Candy was like, no. Todd was like, no pimp hat. And Candy was like, not unless you want Marlo coming up to you asking for a job. I was just like, bruh. That was funny. I was like, that was funny, Candy. I thought that was funny. So then you get Marlo, and she chatted up with her little stylist. She was like, I wonder how this gonna go because I haven't seen Candy since I want to say the reunion. She said New York. I think the reunion was in New York. I don't know. She was like, I ain't seen Candy since New York. And the stylist was like, she mentions a little spoofs. And it's another spoof that I hadn't seen since this episode, until this episode. She did a spoof of Marlo too. And I don't even remember what she was talking about in the spoof. But it was funny as hell. And I was just like, oh man, Candy got everybody. So Marlo was like, Marlo tells her stylist, she's like, I thought the spoofs was funny as hell. She's like, she needs to stick to the spoofs because Broadway ain't working out for her. So I was like, oh Lord. And Marlo says in her little confessional, she thought the spoof was funny. She was like, she good on Candy. She's gonna meet her right where she at. She was like, she said I'm gonna meet her right there where she had my hairline in that spoof right here. I mean, that's where I'm gonna meet her at. Marlo, that's why I said she just funny, man. She funny reality TV. She good reality TV. She funny. Until she take it there and you be like, oh, why you do that? So now we have Ross's party. Everybody's starting to arrive. They showing everybody in their best dressed. And Sonya's sister comes in through the back, and Sonya says in her confessional, she was like, my sister and her husband are off tonight. They're off. She was like, but I mean, if my sister want to tighten up my edges, I want to oblige. I thought that was funny and cute. But that's the shit that her sister talking about right there. Her sister ain't with that shit. So Kenya enters and she in her confessional, and Kenya made me, I was laughing in this moment. Earlier when she said something about Sheree don't get her period no more, I didn't think that was really funny. That was supposed to be shade. I didn't find it funny. Not that it wasn't not funny. It just was not funny. So I don't know how to explain it. It just wasn't funny, but it was still shade, but it wasn't funny to me. But in this little shady moment, it was funny because she says, I'm setting the bar really low for Sonya because if she keeps it up with these shenanigans, I was like, damn. I was like, nobody forgot about that last party. They do not be playing. She's like, if she keeps it up with these shenanigans with the dry beef patties and the Party City decor, I was like, yeah, damn. I was like, boom. Boom. She just dropped a bomb, shade bombs like a motherfucker. She was like, I'm done with the shenanigans. Boom. She keeps it up with these dried beef patties. Boom. Party City decor. Boom. I will be declining her next invite. I said, bruh. Hey, Kenya is That's why they call her a shade assassin, bruh. Did she just come up with that in a moment, bruh? That was just hilarious. So Ralph is there without Drew. Kenya's chatting it up with him. Marnietta's there. Ralph's telling Kenya Drew's not feeling well. Plus, she had a family emergency. Kenya in her confessional, like, Drew, that's your wife, basically. Like, if her family has an emergency, that's your family as well. They got an emergency too. Like, you should be with your wife. Why are you even here? And I was like, I get it. Yeah, I was like, I get where Kenya coming from. But then Ralph says in this confessional that Drew's dealing with some things with her dad, and but he wanted to come support his boy. And like, if him and Ross if they have a little friendship, why not? I mean, at the end of the day, it's the man's birthday party anyway. So her not being there is not really like, he could still like show love to his brother, whatever you want to call it, his boy. So it's just like, why not? But I mean, I get where Kenya's coming from too. Like, that's your family emergency, same thing. I got both. I understood both sides. It was just like Kenya ain't had to do that. So Candy and Todd, they enter, and they embracing Kenya, Marnietta, Drew. I mean, not Drew, Ralph, all them. So Candy says in her confessional, she's like, "Oh, son, you put a lot of money into this party." She was like, I was like, damn, they did not forget, bruh. She was like, but this still ain't up to Candy Burris level, but it's good. I was like, okay. When the last time we had a Candy Burris event on Housewives? I don't remember. I mean, maybe it was last season. I don't remember though. Then Sheree and Martell enter. And Kenya was like, there's the lady of the hour. And Kenya was like, she ain't the lady of shit. I mean, Candy was like, she ain't the lady of shit. I was like, damn. I was like, Candy is not feeling it. Then we get this random scene where Ralph and Courtney say that they just found out they were cousins. I was like, what? Okay. Random as hell. So then Sonya and Ross, they come out. Sonya makes this little short, heartfelt speech about how much she loved Ross. Ross was like, everybody looking good tonight. Let's party. You know, Ross don't say much. So in this moment, I was just like, how long has Ralph not known this? So they talk. So Ralph and Todd are talking over. I told you I'd be stuttering like shit. Ralph and Todd are smoking cigars, and they're talking about the cigars. And Ralph was like, I don't really like them because they make me nauseous. Because I didn't know you weren't supposed to inhale them. So I was like, how long ago did he just find this out? I don't even smoke cigars, and I know that. I hit Capone's every now and then. Those are like mini cigars, but they're in the cigar family tree shit. But I know you ain't supposed to inhale them, bruh. So Kenya in her confession was like, oh my God, why is he here with her on her arm? Why is he here with you on your arm, Sheree? So Candy says in her confessional, she was like, last year, Sheree was with Mr. Community Service. And then they showed a picture of, what's his name, Tyrone? The dude that was locked up? I can't remember his name. They showed a picture of him. She was like, and now she's with Mr. Community Property, talking about Martell. And Sonya in her confessional talking about something, well, I don't see no ankle bracelet on him, so it's an upgrade. I was like, Sonya just neutral. I was like, I might like Sonya this season. I didn't like the season when she was going back and forth with Drew because the reasons that they was going back and forth was kind of irritating to me. Kind of made no sense. But we starting off on a good foot, Sonya. So let's keep it there. I hope. So Candy says, "Hey, Sheree." Sheree like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" So Sheree says in her confessional, she was like, I don't have too much to say to Candy tonight. It's like, as long as her and her little candy coated click keep it cute. Dang, that was a lot of candy coated click, keep it cute. Candy coated click, keep it cute. I like that. She's like, as long as her little candy coated click keep it cute, it should be all good. So Kenya was like, so what's this, Sheree? Like, are y'all official? Martell was like, yeah, officially dating. Yep, all that. All that good stuff. So I was like, okay, that's right, okay. Okay. So Kenya cheesing. She's like, okay. She's like, Sheree, why you looking at me like that? And we all looking at you like, Kenya, we know what you about to do. I thought she's about to bring up the DM right then and there. But Sheree was like, nah, I'm looking at you because you up to something. I know you up to something. So Sheree says in her confessional, I was just like, and this was another shade moment. Sheree made me crack up, bruh. She was like, why is Kenya so damn nosy? She need to be, she's like, instead of, oh, I'm going to do the little bomb down. Why is Kenya so damn nosy? Boom. Can't get mad because I did the same shit with Kenya. Why is Kenya so damn nosy? Boom. Instead, she needs to be worried about her own relationship. Boom. She needs to be worried about her, she needs to be worried about if Mark is going to take more manner. Boom. In the divorce settlement. Boom. Like, what? She needs to be worried about if Mark going to take more manner, her house. In the divorce settlement. It's like, hopefully he adds some baseboards. Boom. Okay. I was just like, she just steady dropping bombs, like, boom, boom. I was like, damn. So then Kenya says in her confessional that she said Sheree should have her own spinoff. Watch me date these dumbass dudes. I was just like, bruh, the shade on Atlanta is so good, bruh. Hey, Potomac, y'all need to take notes. Take notes. Potomac, this is how you shade without... Well, I ain't even going to say Potomac because it's not even the whole Potomac cast. Giselle. This is how you shade without putting allegations out there where people could get arrested and people could get, like... It's just... Her shit go too far. Like, Giselle, take notes. This is how you shade without taking it too far. So Kenya was like, Sheree need to make a spinoff called... She says it in the confessional. She's like, Sheree need to make a spinoff called Watch Me Date These Dumbass Dudes. And then it shows like a little TV thing picture. Bruh, shout out to the producers. That was hilarious. I was just like, bruh, they had me cracking up, man. And these shady confessionals are hilarious. I know they watching these joints like, damn. Do the cast watch it the same time it air like we do? I don't know. I don't think so. Probably not. But they gotta have some type of say so on what comes out, right? I don't know. But they do be under contract. I don't know. Look. Okay. So here go Marlo. She talking to Courtney. And she was like, I heard that you got something going on with Candy. Saying that Courtney said that her and Candy were friends, and then they flashed to Sonya bone carrying ass. I was like, oh, she went to Marlo and told her about the situation. Apparently, a friend of mutual friend of Candy and Courtney's reached out to Courtney and said that Candy was telling people that Courtney said that they were friends. So I don't know. So they flashed to Sonya telling Marlo that. Marlo brings it up to Courtney, and Courtney tells her what I basically just said. Her business partner, what's her name? I don't remember the girl name. What was her name? It comes up later, but I don't remember. Courtney says her business partner reached out to her, said Candy was saying that Courtney said they were friends. Not the case. Marlo says... Yeah, so Marlo says in her confessional, she was like, I'm so glad I'm not in this drama this time, but if it's some tea, you know I'm going to sip it. So I was just like, oh, Marlo, just being Marlo, bruh. So Courtney was like, the person that told me this, she has no reason to lie. She's like, and she's actually friends with Candy. So Marlo was like, well, you need to talk to Candy about it. I'm like, look at her, stirring the pot. Talking about something. It's just some tea. I'm going to sip it, and I'm going to stir the pot and serve some. Through somebody else, though. So Candy, she's telling some of the ladies that she knows it's a woman in ATL. Sheree's not right there, though. She knows it's a woman in ATL that Martell's been kicking it with. And I'm just like, who was right there that wasn't right there when she told Kenya and Monietta? She was talking to them earlier, so it was just like, why are you bringing it up again if y'all already talked about it earlier? Who else was right there? Who was new right there that needed to know this information? I guess Sonya, I guess. I don't even remember. I think it was just Sonya, because they not kicking it with Marlo, because Marlo stayed away. She was like, I'm not feeling some of these ladies, so I'm just going to stay over here by the craps table. That's what Marlo said. So, I can't even remember who else was there besides, because she already told them earlier that, and Marietta said she heard the same thing. So I was just like, what is this? So it's like, she heard Martell's been kicking with a woman in ATL. Candy was like, well, if it's about the D, then just let it be about the D then. Candy was like, what if it's not about the D? And Candy was like, well, do we say something to her? And I'm just like, well, it's reality TV, so of course they're going to try to say something to her at the party. They ain't going to be real friends about it and take her off camera and say something to her about it. Of course they're going to bring it to the TV. It's reality TV. So Candy was like, well, maybe Sheree already know. So Candy was like, well, that's possible. And Maya was like, well, we need to find out. I was like, look at her. Friend of the show. Friend of. Don't even got the peach. Talking about something. We need to find out. So, where am I? So now Kenya comes over there to try to grab Sheree. Ask Courtney, oh, how you know Sheree? Courtney was like, our kids went to school with each other. And Kenya was like, okay, cool. Can I grab Sheree for a minute? I was just like, Kenya funny. So now we get this moment. Courtney and Candy, they finally talking. And Courtney brings up the situation to Candy. And Candy was like, yeah, somebody asked me if I knew you. And I said no. And that's all it was. So Courtney goes on to say that she's not, she ain't desperate for friends. And then Candy's in her confessional saying that her friend from the music industry was working on something with Courtney. And she was like, it's no shade, but she just doesn't know who Courtney is. She was like, the only person who knows who Courtney is her friend. Like, she don't know Courtney. She was like, it's not even no shade. I just don't know who she is. So Candy, she says again, she was like, okay, I don't know you. So Courtney was like, I didn't say that you didn't know me. She was like, I knew we were in the same social circles. And Candy was like, okay, well, what's with the energy? And I was like, yes, like, this conversation should have been done. Like, after this, Candy said, only thing I asked was, did I know you? I mean, did somebody ask me, did they know you? I said no. That should have been it. But this Courtney girl, like, dragging it, wants like some TV time. Who is she? Oh, she's Sheree's friend of the show. Okay, whatever. So Candy gets to like, what's with this energy? And Courtney was like, well, I'm just letting you. It's no energy. I'm just letting you know. So Candy was like, she was like, we may have met, but that don't mean like if someone said Courtney, if somebody said your name, I would know who they was talking about, which is like solid. Like, why would they know? So Courtney was like, well, that's okay. I ain't say you did. I ain't say you would. Da da da. And it was just like going back and forth. And Candy was like, well, you giving off some crazy energy right now. And Courtney was like, I'm not crazy. I'm not giving off crazy nothing. They just going back and forth. And then they flash over to Monietta, Kenya, and Sheree. Marietta starts telling Sheree, she's asking Sheree, like, how serious is you and Martell? And yeah, so she was like, how serious are you and Martell? She was like, me and a couple of ladies have been hearing things. And Sheree was like, hearing things like what? Because I feel like Sheree already knew this was going to happen. She saw this coming in a way. I feel like she knew. So she's standing on it. She ready. She ready for it. So Sheree was like, so like what? What you hear? Come on, y'all to get the Sheree and no, she said well, me and Candy heard that Martell was messing with some girl in Atlanta. And Sheree was like, well, where the woman at? Where's she at? Because I've been with him for the past 3 days, so where's she at? And Marietta was like, oh, okay. So Sheree says in her confessional, she was like, now Marietta want to have a voice. When last season, she ain't had nothing to say at all about the situation. No, she said when they were all together, Marietta had nothing to say last season. But now she got this big voice. She was like, I'm a Ferrari, and if Marcel is cheating, it's a downgrade because he with a Honda or something like that. And she was like, and that's on him. So I was just like, okay. So it's like you kind of like not denying it. I don't know. So Marietta was like, okay, well that's it then. And Sheree was like, yep, that's it. She was like, I appreciate it, okay. She was like, I appreciate where you coming from, though, Marietta. I was in my head like, Sheree, no, you don't. I was like, she really don't, though. So now we back with Courtney and Candy. They still going back and forth. And Courtney telling Candy she was told that Candy claimed Courtney said they were friends. Bruh, this whole situation is so irritating. And she was like, I just asked. Candy was like, she was just asked if she knew you, man. And that's it. And Courtney was like, well, that's how it was brought back to me. And Candy was like, look, man. She was like, I saw the pic of you and Dana. And I knew who Dana was, did not know who you were. And that's it. And Courtney was just getting all buck. And it was just so annoying. It was just like, why they give her this? Candy was telling her, bag back. We already done seen Candy snap off before. I never forget that episode with, was she getting into it with Peter and them? I don't even remember. But that episode was crazy. She was like, cause I want to beat the dog shit out of something she said. But we seen Candy get mad before. So, Candy telling her bag, Courtney getting super loud, and Sonya trying to diffuse the conversation. She talking about, she was like, I know you did feel away. What you expressed to me earlier. Sonya's telling Courtney all of this. And Candy looking at Sonya like, what? Like, what? Oh, so she told you about this and you didn't bring it to me? But you sure did bring it to Marlo. So I feel like that's going to be a problem later. So Candy looking at her like, okay. So, she was like, so Sonya says, yeah, I know you was feeling some way, Courtney, earlier. You expressed it to me, but you are giving some type of energy right now with this conversation between you and Candy. So Courtney was like, oh, okay, Sanya. She was like, I can apologize to Candy. She was like, I just wanted to clarify. She was like, thanks for checking me because I'm grown enough to take accountability. She was like, my feelings were just hurt because I have nothing, because I've had nothing but positive things to say about Candy. And she was like, I'm pretty disappointed that because I don't have to clout chase. And I was just like what? Why they keep playing with Candy? Who got a clout chase? Is she talking about Candy got a clout chase? Come on, bruh. Now they giving this girl too much. Because I'm like, who she talking about got a clout chase? So Candy was like, Candy says, there you go again, like bobbing your head back and forth, doing all this. Nobody said you was a clout chaser, this, that, and the third. So I'm assuming she's saying that Candy was saying she was a clout chaser. Because I was like, I know she ain't calling Candy a clout chaser. But yeah, in that moment, she was like, nobody called you a clout chaser, Courtney. And they still going back and forth, this, and the third. And then they go back over to Kenya, Sheree, and Marietta. So right after Marietta tell her about the woman in Atlanta and all that, telling Sheree all that, Sheree was like, well, where's she at? And all that. So Kenya gets she was like, by the way, Sheree, and I knew in this moment, I was like, oh my God, bruh. Ooh, excuse me. I was just like, bruh, why? So in this moment, she gets well, yeah, I've been meaning to tell you, Sheree, Martell did slide into my DMs. And the first thing Sheree said, let me see what it said. She laughing, let me see. Because I'm like, yes, let me see. That was the first thing, let me see too. And you know, Kenya, she ain't showing it because ain't nothing to show. You shouldn't even brought it up. Even after all this y'all saying, you know she still gonna want to see that DM. So, Sheree like, let me see it. Kenya was like, I just wanted to be, she was like, as a friend, I just wanted you to, I wanted to be honest with you. Sheree like, yeah, okay, fine, let me see. Kenya still changing the subject. She's like, you know, I just didn't want somebody else to tell you. And I'm just like, bruh, you ain't trying to show. She gonna still ask to see that picture. That DM. So she says all that, and yeah, I put Kenya doesn't show it because her ass ain't nothing to show. Yeah, so Sheree was like, well, Martell's here, so let's call him over and let's talk about this. And I was like, oh, Kenya, you in the hot seat now. So she signals Martell to come over, and I can't wait to see next episode how Kenya gonna. Well, Kenya looked like she blows up on him. They go back and forth. She called him a cheating motherfucker, all this other type stuff. But I was in this moment, I was kind of mad at Kenya because I was just like, you don't know what that DM said, bruh. Unless she read it and unless she saw it and she ain't tell nobody. Because I could have sworn in that scene she didn't. I could have sworn this whole episode we didn't see that DM. We don't know what it said, and I'm pretty sure she don't either. So I just feel like, yeah, that kind of made me mad. Like, why? He ain't innocent by a long shot. Not to say, because I don't know anything about the man, but to make that up, like, you don't even have no proof. And you know Sheree still gonna have to see that picture. I just wonder how it's about to play out. You know Kendra gonna try to twist it around. I don't know. It looked like Martell said something like, yeah, I was trying to hit, but I wasn't with Sheree or something like that. I don't know. But, yeah, like I said, I would grade this episode a B minus. B minus, B plus, A minus. B plus, A minus, because that whole DM situation, I didn't like that. That was dumb. That was stupid. And the whole Courtney situation. Please don't give her more. Please don't give her more scenes. We do not need it, bruh. We need to be done with Courtney. I don't need to see her no more, bruh. Yeah, predictions for episodes to come. Like I said, I feel like we're going to get more of this Sheree and Martell storyline, even though it ain't nothing. I'm wondering if we're going to see the dude Roy that Kenya's supposed to be talking to. And we see where Candy's storyline going to go. Not enough time for the kids. Her and Todd ain't got time for each other. This, that, and the third. As far as Marlo and her boys, I say try to do as little. I know that's her storyline, but try to do as little scenes as possible with your boys. Because, like, I don't know. That's how I feel about it. Just be in the mess, Marlo. I don't care. Just be in the mess, Marlo. Yeah, like I said, I think this tiff between Sonya and her sister gonna get hard. Gonna get worse. I think that's gonna happen. And yeah, I don't know. Marietta getting herself into some stuff too as a friend of the show. So yeah, we see where these storylines are gonna go. Like Sheree, it's gonna be really about Sheree and Martell, probably until the Drew and Ralph situation pop up. Yeah. That's pretty much my predictions for episodes to come. Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Like this video and subscribe to my channel. Yeah, comment below how you felt about the episode, about the premiere. What you would grade the premiere. I don't like to do ratings because everybody do ratings. Everybody do the ratings 1 through whatever. I like to do grades. So, yeah, comment below what you would grade the episode, what you thought about what I talked about, if I was wrong about anything, if I was on point about anything. Yeah, all that good stuff. Just comment whatever you feel. Yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.